All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to CGL, where we have a grand finals in the EU Open tier. The winner is crowned the champion and takes home $1,500 here. My name is Dextron. I am joined by Gio. Man, how are you doing tonight?
I have apprehension, a lot of it, because there's a lot to go down here. Not only is Infernal on an absolute tear right now, they've went through the losers bracket, they defeated the team Berlin Brandenburg, they put them in the losers bracket, and now they've made it into the grand finals. But Gilix, they've been extremely strong, extremely consistent, and they have some banger players on their team, including a World Cup player for Team India and Captain Prash. But also, I'm cursed. I have only ever casted clean sweeps in CGL. There has been no back and forth between teams in my CGL games, so I'm terrified that my curse will create a 4-0. For me, I'm hoping there will be at least a 4-2.
Hey, and I'll be honest, I'm probably part of that curse a little bit here. It seems like whenever you're casting, I'm right there, right beside you. So I might be cursed as well. Don't just put it all on you, but we're going to joke that it's all you right now. But like you said, let's actually take a look here at the bracket. These two teams have made it this far. And like you said, the Infernal team, they dropped down after that second round loss there to Berlin Brandenburg Esports, but since dropping down that losers bracket, they have yet to drop a map. That is 9 straight map wins in a row for them. And you can look at Gilix right there as well. They've only dropped 2 maps this entire playoff run right now to get to this grand finals.
Yeah, and I mentioned briefly, Berlin Brandenburg did actually take a map off of Gilix in terms of recency, where Infernal did not. Obviously, Infernal did lose to Brandenburg, but we're in a different world now, where we're dealing with a different level of play coming from Infernal. So the fact that they clean sweeped Berlin, where Gilix maybe struggled a little bit more, maybe that's telling that this is going to be very tough for Gilix to continue their run, because Infernal are just that hot right now and living up to their name. And of course, when there's $1,500 on the line, these players are not just playing to play, they're playing to eat, they're playing to travel, they're playing to do whatever they want to do with that immense money.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more pressure added on to both these teams here. But like you said, again, Infernal has been on fire, but Gilix Spartan only lost 2 maps through 3 games this entire postseason run here for them. Infernal, dropped down that lower bracket, so they had to lose a series. Their backs have been against the wall, and they have definitely looked like to be a team that is absolutely scary, but that can be said for both teams here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Infernal have an incredible setup with their roster, and so do Gilix. Both have extremely strong lineups that are going to showcase what those individuals can really bring and what they can bring as a team. Looking now at Gilix Spartan lineup, you have True coming in on the tank line. You've got QRXU on the DPS alongside Tocino. Captain Prash is that Team India player I was talking about, an extremely experienced tournament player as well, alongside Suckrax, who I hear they call Godrax. So a very solid backline there, which will really help them going up against the Infernal side.
Yes, speaking of Gilix here, or speaking of Infernal, let's introduce you to their starting lineup here. You have the DPS line of Nizpuck and Dip, the tank there of Ego, and the support line of Natsuki and Okuwatse here. Gio, me and you casted the losers final of this team, and Infernal looked to be a very, very scary team there. Nizpuck and Dip honestly being the players that really stood out for me there, but there's a lot of players on this team that you could easily say, they did their role and they excelled at it.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, the DPS lineup really came out big, especially Dip on the Tracer time and time again, really turning fights that were looking a little dire, but it's really the synergistic style that they've been playing, this diva dive composition, where they really know how to get their backline set up into a way that they can rotate into the best possible position and set themselves up for success. That we saw time and time again. Infernal catching Brandenburg out on their own rotations, and Brandenburg were just struggling to get that set up. Where Infernal, they were a little bit more flexible in the routes that they were taking. We saw that a lot on the likes of Blizzard World in that matchup. So a very strong team right now. They're absolutely on fire.
But speaking of getting this series started here, we do know our first map of the night here. We're going to be heading to the control point map of Ilios here. Now, Gio, just looking at these two teams here, who do you think has kind of the advantage heading into our first map?
So I talked a little bit about how we saw the diva composition coming out from Infernal a lot, and there's two kind of modes of there's two kind of styles right now in terms of dive, and it's playing this kind of monkey fast and trade style, or this kind of more slow peely diva style. And basically the difference is one wants to play slow, one wants to play fast. We've seen Infernal are very good at a prolonged fight. So I think Gilix, they could either match that here on Ilios, where you're going to see a lot of diva, you're going to see a lot of dive, especially on Lighthouse, especially on Ruins, and well, I mean, every map, essentially, every point of Ilios really opens up to those compositions. So it's all about if Gilix bring out something that isn't a diva, if they can play fast enough to take down Infernal, or if they match it and they can continue to bring out those slow-paced fights for themselves.
And there's a lot of times when you talk about having a slow-paced comp and a fast-paced comp that I normally kind of gravitate towards the fast-paced comp, normally being the one that will win out. But at this tier right now, I feel like maybe the slower comp will normally be the one that kind of wins out in the initial team fight, just because they take the time to kind of evaluate the entire situation and then they choose who they want to go after. While a team that's trying to go fast has to quickly choose someone right away without really knowing what the rest of the other team has.
Absolutely. And, well, we're going to get off to the races here. It is Ilios Lighthouse. Lots of high ground here. You can really set your backline up for success. Infernal, however, they don't really have a backline that would need to set up on high ground. With the likes of the Kriko and the Lucio, they can really follow in with the dive, and it does continue to make you more sustainable up against what Gilix are playing, because there is no Ana. There's no glaring weakness in Infernal's comp, as in a dive target, whereas you have the Ashe and the Ana here from Sucrax and Tocino getting on with our grand finals.
Yeah, gates of open grand finals here in the EU Open tier have began right here, and you are absolutely right with the tanks we are going to see here, and already an incredible play coming out from both sides there, the whip jet and the boop off the map already. Two huge plays coming out from the supports. However, Natsuki was the first one to fall there for Infernal. Dip gonna try to keep control of this point at the moment. Gonna start building up that percentage, but right now each team just trying to find the next pick.
Yes, and Captain Prash continues to just whip shot everyone away, daring to bring this one back, but Dip is being able to control the point a lot. Keep an eye out for Dip up against Tocino here. This duel, you can see it briefly here. Oh, almost, but yeah, that's going to be a big factor in this entire series. These two tracers going to be going at it throughout. However, Tocino does have that pulse bomb ready. They can really interrupt this rotation on the high ground if they get set up.
Yeah, but look at it right now. Both tracers basically have their pulse bombs ready to go, and one's coming out here on top. It will get the DMAC there on to Ego. Crow also swapping off that Winston after one life, going to the Diva as well. But Crow able to eat Dip's pulse bomb, so that pulse bomb immediately not going to find anything. Tocino able to find Ego. QR finds Natsuki, and everything starting to go the way of Gilix Spartan logo here.
Yeah, amazing eat from Crow. Those pulse bombs were going to be the main things that really interrupt those rotations, like I was saying. I love that pace of play from Gilix. They got going before Infernal could set up Dip, and that meant Dip was a little late to the fight. And now they're in the defender's position. Gilix can set up Sucrax for success here, especially with the rally. That's really going to hold in there and make it very hard to push in. However, this buck, if they can get EMP in its next fight, they can really disrupt things.
Yeah, they do have that EMP right. They're going to pop it immediately. It only finds Crow, though, so maybe not the value they want to get out of it. However, it will force the rally out there from Captain Prash. No one on Infernal really wants to take this fight there at the moment, as you see Ego kind of just get away from the point. Nice dynamite there on point. I believe he got Nizbuk there as they immediately had to recall themselves back, but it looks like Infernal wants to try to take this fight to the point here at the moment, but you're starting to see some of Gilix just turn right back around. Bob being invested here by QR, Post Bob being invested by Dip. We'll find Sucrax here, so a trade going out each way right now.
Yeah, Nizbuk didn't quite get what they wanted of that EMP. That's why this fight's just so prolonged and brawly.
Bomb coming out here. It's going to be able to find two and get the D-Mech there on a Crow. Crow's going to use their own bomb to get back into their mech, but they're not going to be able to as Okuwatse takes care of them, and Infernal retakes the point.
Yeah, Ego has been incredibly consistent on the Diva, and you just see that in those fights where it gets hairy and hectic. We've talked about it. That's where Infernal really finds its strength. They know how to play in the chaos. They are going to be up against a strong engager with this Nano. They need to deal with Sucrax.
Crow, though, able to find Nizbuk out early. Natsuki gets slept and immediately woken up, but all the kills going the way of Gilix here. They're able to get Ego out of their mech. QR able to take him down there. Crow able to find Okuwatse, and now Gilix Spartan going to be able to retake the point here.
Yeah, Gilix playing faster than I can speak. That Nano was out before I was even done talking about it, and that's exactly why they've won this out. But look at Dep keeping it going, actually getting to 90%. That does mean that the next fight, if Infernal can win it, will finalize this point. Gilix cannot let them cap here. They need to really catch out Dip. Dip has been so consistent on the flanks here and getting too much value on point. I think a little bit of support for Ticino, and they can really duel out Dip and nullify the impact they're having.
Yeah, but right now, Gilix Spartan logo only has that pulse bomb ready to go here at the moment. Infernal will be close to some ultimates right now. We could see him come this fight right now, but Dip immediately goes straight to point, starts getting that percentage up. They're already halfway to reflipping the point right there. Nizbuk, though, has his EMP ready. It can be huge. They're looking for a couple of targets right now. They're going to pop it. They find three. They find Crow there just before they get their bomb. That's a huge pickoff from them. Now the pulse bomb coming out from Dip will be able to find the D-Mech Crow there, and now Infernal trying to clean up the rest of this fight. Tocino, though, will find a trade there on the Natsuki. Nizbuk also out. Gilix Spartan logo turn this fight around. The bomb coming out there from Ego will find QR, but Bob on point right now for Gilix.
QR did an absolutely great heavy lifting job here, 99 to 99 almost. I don't think anyone can touch it. All that she wrote here. There's a panic Lucio, but I don't think it's going to get anything as this Lighthouse looks to go the way of Gilix.
Yeah, but you're going to see the last couple second touches coming out here from Infernal as they desperately try to reflip this point over. The consumer is going to be invested here by Okuwatsu, but Dip falls early here. And Gilix Spartan logo trying to play a little bit of offensive line here, keep them out at the door. Crow does have a bomb ready to go here, but this is going to mostly be used for remake purposes. QR swapping over to that Symmetra, finds one, make it two right now, and find a third to end it all here on Lighthouse.
Yeah, a lot of kind of feeling each other out there on Lighthouse, of course, as it always will be on the first map. And we kind of really saw a lot of pros and cons there. I mean, a good redeeming EMP there from Nizbuk after the initial one. Didn't quite get the value they were looking for, but still, QR came up amazingly there on the Ash, finding very crucial eliminations that destabilized the attack of the opposing team of Infernal and really allowed Gilix to settle in. Heading over to Well, Infernal currently hovering over, going for more of the Winston, and we've talked about how that's just a faster pace of play. Winston wants to get trades, wants to go in hard, and the reason they've chosen this is because of Sucrax on Niana. It's a massive target. You're going to watch Gilix really have to peel hard for Sucrax.
Yeah, but you already see basically Ego and the rest of Infernal getting onto that high ground right there by point. They finally come down, and he gets hacked by QR there, down to the pit of despair already early here, but some trades getting traded out right now. It's one kill each way at the moment, just going back and forth right now. However, it looks like Gilix has come out on top here. Nizbuk, though, might try to deny this point cap.
That was an Ego death in two ways. To eliminate an entire tank with a single ability and not even damage them, like, that is so strong. Gilix in a very, very strong position already. Ego needs to really watch for that hack because it's so much damage. And also, If you drop down the well, you get eliminated instantly. You get sent back to spawn.
Not how you want it to go, because like you said, it's a little bit of an ego diff right there. Well, you see Nispa get the hack there on the Crow. They immediately back out of that one as Crow started to just go right into Pulse Bomb coming out there from Diff, not going to be able to find anyone there. And you just see Gilix here getting incredibly aggressive now, but now you see Infernal coming back, Ego diving into that backline support there, but they're going to get antied here and just kind of hold their ground while they wait for it to go away. However, Tocino will not let that go away. They'll be able to find there. However, it does trade out there on the Sucrax, and Crow does lose their mech.
Yeah, it's still back and forth, but the eliminations coming out from Gilix are really destabilizing Infernal, and it looks like they are going to hold in, unless Dip can do something like this.
Oh, but look at this, Crow able to get back into their mech here. QR still around. They do have the EMP. I imagine they're not going to use it here. Hold it on for the next team fight, because at this point, you've pretty much lost point. And with Crow falling there, Infernal's going to take this point at some point. They just have to get rid of QR, and with Okuwatse finding that kill there, it's going to be a point flip.
Yeah, it's a long fight, and it's 67% now for Gilix. They can be a little bit more patient. Not that they even need to be. They have a strong ult bank. However, Infernal have everything ready, bar the Primal. You want to drip these ultimates out of the opponent.
EMP comes out from Nisbuk. I think it might have only found Sucrax there, but it finds no one else. The Nano coming out here onto Ego as they want to try to pick off as many members of Gilix here as they can, but they've done enough already to force them to fall back.
Yeah, they pulled 2 win conditionals out for that fight there, instead of just using the 1, which is going to make this next fight a little difficult for them, where they only have the Pulse Bomb and the Rally to hold in against this Nano engage that will be coming from Gilix as well as EMP.
EMP comes out, immediately hits Ego and Okuwatse there. Ego immediately gets taken up. The Rally coming out here from Natsuki. Remember, that can now stun, so it can play into how they want to play this fight, but Nispuk falls there, and looks like Tocino can be next one to fall after Dip pops that Pulse Bomb. Not able to find anyone. Crow pops the bomb, not able to find anyone as well, but the kills continue to go the way of Gilix here, and they should be able to retake point.
Yeah, and now we're getting to that final 30%, and Infernal, they need to find something that works, because their ult rotation was a little bit off-kilter there. They only have this Primal going forward, but that can do enough. That can really interrupt Sucrax and maybe get in there before the Nano is engaged.
Pulse Bomb getting stuck there onto Natsuki, and that's a huge pick off here early for Gilix, and now they're going to try just to keep this pressure up to force Infernal from even touching this point.
Yeah, Beat needs to come out from Captain Crash to sustain them, but it's 94%. Final fight. Sucrax goes down.
Primal Rage being popped here by Ego. They're only about 60% away from capping this point right now, but Infernal continues to find the kills here. Crow gonna get demeched. Gonna try to keep this fight alive, but honestly, it'd probably be better if they just, kind of went back to spawn, and Infernal eventually able to retake point, and QR falling late as well.
And they did that without utilizing the Nano that they now have, as well as the EMP. They have those win conditions back, and it's now the final 5%. For them, they've turned it around completely. They really can control this one. I want to see the EMP and the Nano used separately to extend the fight.
Oh, but they're going to be used at the exact same time. There, here comes the EMP for the Nano for Gilix Spartan logo onto the tank as well, and they're going to just try to focus down Ego there. They're going to be able to do that, but Dip able to find Sucrax there, and they're going to try to take this fight now because Infernal does not have their tank ready to go. The hack coming out there onto Crow, going to make them play back a little bit as they do not want to lose a lot of health here. EMP comes out and hits the 2 members that they were looking for. Okuwatse immediately falls. Natsuki so close to dying, but they're going to be able to keep themselves alive here. 99 to 99 right now. It's going to be anyone's fight here. Bomb coming out here for Crow, but they just need it to remech.
Yeah, it's overtime now, 99 to 99.
Almost had another Ego play coming out there, but Ego able to keep themselves or Crow able to keep themselves alive. Dip though finds QR early, a huge pick off here for Infernal, and now you basically see everyone on Infernal just going in trying to find the kills. Gilix Spartan able to actually flip the point through all that chaos right there. Infernal able to flip it right back though, and no touch comes out from Gilix. Infernal gonna force a 0.3 here.
Yeah, a lot of things went into that fight. There was plenty to pick apart. But Natsuki getting the beat there, that is what allowed Infernal to get the control back in their favor. And once you saw that, Gilix weren't in the position because they were under the impression they were going to hold it, but the beat really unkiltered them, and then they couldn't really touch in time, unfortunately for them. Perhaps a bit of a Charlie Niner. I wouldn't say it's a full Charlie Niner, a partial Niner. Um, but heading into Ruins, this is going to decide Ilios and decide who will get the initial point in this series. QR on the Widow. Can this find the value in this long range map?
I was really hoping we'd see that grapple headshot right there from QR, but yet we do not get that right now. But this Sombra is still going to be the bane of Crow's existence right now. They are really only focusing them as that's their main target here. The Suzu coming out a little bit early here, though, from Okuwatsi, but QR able to find one head there onto Natsuki, and now they're playing a little bit aggressive. The other support there falls for Infernal, and this might just be this first point going over to Gilix.
Yeah, the one-shot potential of Widow rearing its ugly head there. Nicely placed by QR, and of course it's going to be much harder to push into the Widow now that they have time to set up. Oh, wait, hold on, what?
Okuwatsi getting some payback there. 2 headshots there with those kunai, immediately able to take them out there, but still Gilix or Infernal trying to play the slow regroup and bring a whole fight to Gilix.
Dip is also so far in the backline, they're at the enemy spawn.
Yeah, but look at this. Ego and Dip finding 2 early picks into this one. It's going to be a point flip only after 25%.
Yeah, not too much percentage, and it's all off the back of Okuwatsi getting that DPS onto the Widow there. It's what you want to see from your backline to really help and support that DPS. Chino got the pulse bomb much more before Dip. They can open up quick with it. They're all split, however.
Crow and Natsuki having a little bit of a fight there on that high ground. They're immediately going to fly away to keep themselves alive here. Dip, though, getting incredibly the hack coming out there onto Tocino, but they're able to keep themselves alive by recalling, almost dying there, but 5 ultimates ready, or about to be 5 ultimates ready for Infernal. They pop 1 right there, only finds Crow and Sucrax with that EMP. You see the Kasuni Rush come out here from Infernal as well. Bomb being used by Crow just to get back into their mech here. Ultimates being invested into this fight, yet no kills that really came from a Dip, able to find 1. Here comes the bomb from Ego there, able to find 1, and Infernal just is going to be able to clean up this team fight.
Yeah, this is messy. To pick apart this, I'd need to write a 5,000-word essay, but all of the ults came out, and Infernal, they held in, putting them in an amazing position and essentially confirming that this map will at least see 99% from Infernal, unless Gilix can find something done here with QR on the Sombra, getting those hacks onto the tank and such instead of on the Widow.
Yeah, other than after that first life, maybe QR didn't find a lot of value onto the Widowmaker there, and QR not being able to teleport themselves away from that fight costed them there, as Nispuck, with the help from a lot of their teammates, able to take care of them. Suzu being invested early there to make sure Crow stays alive, but at this point, we're essentially in final fight territory.
We really are, which means Gilix needs to be careful on what they do here, but Crow coming up big.
That should be the go button right now. Nispuck was about to have an EMP ready. Here comes the pulse bomb from Tocino. Will find Natsuki. That's a huge pick for them right now. 2 members of Infernal down. Make it 3 as Dip falls and 4 as Eagle falls. It's 99%, but Gilix Spartan able to retake the point, but they have a long road ahead of them.
They really do, and at least that fight allowed them to start getting to those win conditions, like this Kitsune Rush, about 80% away from it. They're a bit far away from their EMP, especially compared to Nispuck, who has it. That means that Infernal, they have an opportunity here to just go in right now and take it.
Yeah, but just look at Gilix Spartan over here compared to Infernal's ultimates. EMP comes out, it hits Crow. Crow's going to use their bomb here to get back into their mech. EMP really only hit Crow there. Sucrax does have their Kasuni Rush ready, but Okuwatsi popping theirs here. The beat coming out from Captain Prash, trying to do whatever they can to keep their team alive. Now, here comes the other Kasuni Rush from Sucrax. EMP coming out from QR. Only hits 2, but they're able to demech Ego before Ego was able to get that bomb ready to go. Now here comes the coalescence from Natsuki. Infernal trying to retake the point right now. I don't think anyone's necessarily fallen yet in this fight, but Gilix is very close to actually giving the point back over. Dip, though, first one to fall.
Yeah, it's a big slobber knocker as a fight right now. Both teams looking to get an advantage for Gilix right now, but Ego equalizes.
Bomb coming out here from Ego. It could be deadly. Won't find anyone, though. And they're able to retake the point through all that mass chaos right there. Now all they need to do is try to get everyone for Gilix off for the point right now. The DMAC, though, on to Crow is huge. They have no bomb to get them back into it. You immediately see Ego dive on them, trying to get them out of this life right now. Gilix trying to do their best to find kills here. Crow falling, not going to help them out. Tocino, they're just trying to pepper in damage to whoever they can find here. You're starting to see some more members of Gilix come back. The beat coming out will only hit Tocino and Captain Prash there, but those are the only two members of Gilix who are around the point.
Oh, and the cap comes in, and Infernal, they begin what could be the final, the denouement of their revenge arc, their redemption. But yeah, an incredible match there. I mean, you couldn't ask for a closer one. Almost every point there went 99 to 99, and it was just back and forth, and you just saw it. And the way that these teams are fighting, right, they're not giving up. There's no inch being given. There's no mile that isn't being taken if available. These players are just biting into this matchup with absolute strength, and they're taking every fight like it's the most important fight. That's why these fights are going on for so long. And like I said, if I wanted to truly break it down, I'd need to write a whole essay about it.
Yeah, you would, but with Infernal winning the map, that's now 10 straight map wins for them ever since getting knocked down that lower bracket, or that loser's bracket. So they're continuing to stay absolutely on fire here. And you want to know where I really think that last point really came down to, or the decision that really saw or let me know that Infernal was probably going to end up winning that one there?
Yeah, I would think so.
I truly believe it was QR sticking on a Widowmaker for the second life. They stuck on it a little bit too long, in my opinion. They got great value out of it on their first life, but immediately after Infernal was able to take the point and we saw QR come back out on that Widowmaker, they were pretty much just kind of bullied into a corner. Infernal got really aggressive, and there was nothing that QR could do, and it was just some more time that they lost off at the point.
That's an absolutely great point, because once QR was on the summer, they were finding a lot of great opportunities. Like that EMP in the final fight there almost ended the fight early, where the EMP from the other side only found the mech, and if you're trading an EMP for a bomb, you're happy with that if you're on the side that used the bomb, not the EMP. So yeah, I think you're right. I think QR kind of adapting quicker there would have been a little more in favor of the composition for the side of Gilix, and would have allowed them to really stay in those fights longer, because Widow doesn't have a lot of staying power. It's all about just patience and finding the shot with Widow, where, Infernal were just not letting that happen. After the first pick came up from the Widow, even Okuwatsu was like, nah, here's a kunai to the skull. You're not doing this to my team.
Yeah, no, getting some good payback there as well. But Gio, we do know our second map of this grand final series. We're heading to California. We're going to Hollywood.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, these players looking to make stars out of themselves here in CGL, win themselves the purse. I say purse, it's more like a backpack of cash, $1,500 on the line, and it's a first of four. Infernal with the lead right now, but Hollywood coming out. It's going to play into a lot of those compositions that we've already seen come out. Those dive compositions, we can very likely just see another dive. Of course, bringing out a spam on the defense is something that could be what Gilix are planning to do. When you have to think about, why they're picking this map, it's because they have a plan. It's because they know this map enough that they have something that works against Infernal. And right now, it's actually looking like Captain Prash coming out on the Ana. Now, that's curious, because we've seen them play, the traditional support roles are kind of fading away of main support and flex support. Those kind of roles are leaving. Here we go with the CCTV. We can see it all looking like Sombra. And the defense, pretty much the same stuff, but crucially, the difference is they have the Ana Zen. That means they now have that one condition of the Nano, but also big target in the Ana. That's why you have the Brig to protect them. Where Gilix, they just have so much output. With this Ana Zen, that's a Discord, that's an anti. There's nothing to cleanse that stuff. It's a lot of damage, which means Ego needs to be really careful where they go because that Discord is going to be on them.
Yeah, and you saw Nispuk up there on that little high ground right there. They know where everyone is for Gilix here, and they immediately get the hack there onto Sucrax, and they're immediately able to take him out there. They try to get the hack there onto Captain Prash as well, but Captain Prash just says, take a nap.
Traded out by True. You've lost your tank, and that's tough for the defense. You need to now really extend this fight.
Yeah, Gilix needs to try to get this fight going here a little bit right now. They're going to try to keep this pressure up here on point, but another nice sleep coming out there from Okuwatse, this time out in Tocino. But they're not able to kill him. Their Sucrax, so coming back into the fight, immediately able to find Natsuki there. They're immediately traded out here by Dip. Ego back in the fight right now. They immediately went after Crow there, but just with them coming back, has gotten the pressure, or has forced Gilix here to kind of fall off the point and regroup here a little bit.
Yeah, Anna's bodyguard isn't yet in the fight, but the Nano is. Captain Prash opening up.
And what a pulse bomb there from Dip onto Captain Prash. The Nano did come out there onto Crow. They're in a lot of trouble though right now. They're hacked. They're immediately about to, almost going to be DMX'd here. They're falling back into corners trying to get themselves out, but they're not going to be able to. Here comes a pulse bomb of Tocino Zone onto Okuwatse. But again, without that tank, you might not be able to really commit a lot into this one. However, Tocino finds Nispuk here. Maybe Gilix is going to be able to keep this fight alive.
Yeah, Tooth and Nail, they're fighting for it. The defense, though, they have a moment to look for this EMP from Nispuk.
QR does have their EMP as well, but with Ego falling there, are you going to commit a lot into this fight here if you're Infernal? Natsuki falls as well. At this point, you're just trying to tick off as much time as you can, as Gilix has pretty much already won this team fight and the point.
Yeah, up until the final moment, Nispuk wasn't quite sure if the EMP should be utilized. You saw them jump onto the point, but I think while in the air, the call was made, don't use the EMP, we don't have the players, let's reset, and that's a great thing to do. Ooh, a little bit of a trade there. Sucrax finding Okuwatse, and that's going to destabilize them setting up on the high ground and allow the flankers of the Sombra and the Tracer to disrupt the Ana if they want, from getting to the high ground and just not let them get that position that they really want.
Infernal here does have a lot of ultimates to play with right now. Gilix about to have 4 as well, but Infernal's ones are a lot more scary in my opinion. That EMP and bomb, but the EMP coming out from QR here first. Immediately finds 3. The Nano coming out. It's a Nano on to the Sombra right now, but Dip able to find Captain Prash there again with the pulse bomb. Dip as well finds the other support of Sucrax, and Infernal here doing a really good job of picking out their targets and making sure they don't come back alive.
Yeah, and a lot of it is from the scouting. Both Nispuk and QR are just working overloads to give all that information to their teams and set them up for success. However, this high ground's advantage of the defense is just more advantageous. You can choose when to engage much more than you can on the attacking side of things. Chino does have this pulse bomb, but they're not looking to get the high ground as of yet.
Yeah, and Crow does have their bomb ready to go right now, and Nispuk almost fallen. They're able to recall themselves, keep them alive. A huge play coming out there from them. QR almost taken out as well. A pulse bomb coming out there from Tocino, not able to find anyone. Actually, no, it does find Ego's mech there. However, Natsuki falls. It's trade right back out there on Tocino, but it's just trades going each way right now. Gilix right now currently ahead, but Crow almost getting demech'd here, but with the pressure coming out from them right now, they're going to be able to continue this card push.
Yeah, it was one of those slobber knocker fights where, you know, it could go really either way, but the pulse bomb nice and early from Tocino really turned things around. Infernal on the back foot right now. They really need to come up big with an EMP, but that's a disaster.
That's a horrible start here, but Crow getting hacked might be able to help them out here. They're desperately trying to get them out of their mech. They know that the bomb is probably right there for that Diva on Gilix right now, but so close to the second point. The EMP comes out, does hit Crow and QR. The pulse bomb again. It finds Captain Prash for the 3rd time already this map. Sucrax, though, comes right back and finds 2 kills, immediately keeping Gilix in this one, but 2 more kills right back from Infernal. Keep them alive. And Sucrax, make it 3, make it 4 for this, make it 5 for the Zenyatta.
And that's why they call him Godrax. Outstanding stuff. The Zenyatta of Sucrax just absolutely dominating, like you said, getting 5 there and just absolutely deadlifting Gilix into the 4th point here. They have 3 minutes. It's a lot of time. They're staring at the barrel of a possible 2 minutes time bank securing this point. They have this Transcendence that Sucrax can nullify any effects of this impending nano engage. Oh. Or Dip just ruins it.
QR. I know you're trying to make as much noise as you possibly can to try to get their attention, but it's not working.
Look at me, please. Really begging for attention.
Round 2?
Well, I'm not entirely sure what the plans is here.
They're putting down sprays now. EMP comes out there from them, hits those 2 supports on that high ground, but they immediately get slept out of it. And Okuwatse going to be able to take him out there. Nispuck finds Sucrax as well. All that toying around there on the high ground. The EMP was invested as well, but yet it results in nothing.
Yeah, some may call that a tragedy, some may call it a comedy. I'm not entirely sure which one I would call that, but both are applicable. Nispuck is so far in the back line here looking for scouts, and of course this EMP is going to be the engage here, the go button.
That's the go button. Their go button there was only onto Sucrax, but hey, they're able to get them there. That's good. Definitely slow down this attack here from Gilix, and probably force them to fall back, especially with Captain Prash falling there as well as QR.
Yeah, you see these Sombras, they're not too bothered with getting 5-man EMPs. They're more caring about just getting 1 or 2 of the supports and getting an immediate elimination. It's just about securing a single elimination, and then that just compounds all your advantages into one. Eagle looking for bomb here, perhaps?
Perhaps, but my feeling is these divas are really gonna try to use bombs here as just remech tools, get them back in it, try to force the other team off of the objective here right now. Here, Eagle gets remech, the bomb immediately comes out from them, won't find anyone, and they won't try to get any kills there on the re-entry.
No, not at all. No Dip on the flank here, trying to just disrupt this attack as they push in. Prash does have the nano. They can engage nice and strong here. 42 seconds on the board. If this is a prolonged fight, could be the last one.
Sucrax able to find Dip. Pulse bomb coming out. Oh, but it misses both the supports on that high ground. That could have been so huge there if that lands there from Tostino. But a whiff this time coming out from them. And now the cart just going to be kind of stalled here for a little bit. We're essentially in final fight territory here, but that's another huge pick coming out here from Tostino.
Yeah, that's massive. That reduces the possibility of an EMP.
Oh my goodness! Dip with the stick. It finds 3 right there. That might be what ends this round. The nano was invested there onto Crow. They're not going to use their bomb to get back in the mech. That might have been the wrong move from them.
Even getting a single elimination with pulse bomb could be a difficulty, but for Dip, a triple is just a natural response. Brilliant stuff.
Sucrax finding Nispuck there at the end, but it won't matter as that 3-man pulse bomb there from Dip essentially ended the push there for Gilix. And like you said, like that, it's just an incredible play coming out from them. Yeah, you know, you're looking for one, and we saw Dip that entire round basically just throwing the pulse bombs on to Captain Prash, and the one time they don't, it finds 3.
Man, it's these fights are very difficult to break down. There's so much happening in them. Each fight has about like 4 mini fights going in it, but there's so many individual players coming in here and just turning those individual moments into just fight winning moments. And obviously the obvious example there was Dip, but like Sucrax as well with the Zen 5k without even needing an ult. Just the core mechanics of that player just absolutely decimating the field. And now keeping the Zenyatta on the defense is a little riskier. It's a little riskier than not, than of course having the Brigida. But with the Zen kick, you still have a little bit of defense, and I mean the core defense is just the raw output of damage, and you can tell. And it's clear to see why. They have confidence in Sucrax to put out that damage. Nispuck coming out on the Hanzo, actually. Double sniper action from Dip and Nispuk. I imagine Dip's actually just going to swap, yeah. And that Sonic Arrow is going to allow them to scout out the back line and find a good avenue of attack to exploit the weakness.
Yeah, and you immediately see basically, other than Ego there for Infernal, all swapping their picks there. Alkawatse and Natsuki went to this Lucio and Kariko support line right now, and that immediately kind of deals with Sucrax right there if they want to use the Suzu to make sure it gets rid of the orb.
Yeah, that Suzu is going to come into a massive effect here. That's why they have went for that Kariko as well. Gives them the win condition of the rush as they go into the high ground. Oof.
Ego, though, going to be the first one to get demeched here for Infernal. Gilix needs to try to capitalize on this right now. Crow also getting incredible load being demeched, and they're going to get demeched here now. They're desperately going to try to get off this high ground, because as long as they're on that high ground, they're target number one.
Yeah, and you can just tell taking so much damage from it, but Infernal, they've set themselves up, and with the mech back, they're going to look to dive the next high ground.
Yeah, they're diving in there onto that backline now for Gilix, and Sucrax immediately taken out there by Okuwatse. Nispuk finds QR, and Infernal trying to end this fight right now, and they're already up to a tick on the point.
Yeah, and it's not looking good for the defense. Losing Prash there at 99% to Nano. That's pretty much going to cement the attack, getting this point and rolling into third. And of course, folks, remember, they do not need to finish this map. They have an endpoint in mind, and yeah, it's pretty much at the end of the map, but what that means is they can be a little bit more conservative with the time. They're not currently being conservative with the time, but it does have that kind of that backup plan that we can play slow. We don't need to go in hard.
Yeah, and right now, I think they have a much better time bank than what Gilix did on their second cart push right here. But again, you may see Gilix just try to take control of the high ground. Pulse Bomb coming out there from Dip. I think that's the first time this entire map they've missed. EMP comes out, though, from QR. Immediately finds three. Two of those members that were hit immediately taken out. Now QR now trying to focus in on here on Ego. Gonna be able to demech them. They've already kind of won this fight now, as everyone on Infernal trying to fall back.
Yeah, incredible EMP. They hit the members that they needed to. Oh, that's a bit of a mishandling there at the end of the fight, but yeah, that means the beat is pretty much free. You can use it as more of an aggressive option if you want.
And look at this, these EMPs are starting to get a little bit more aggressive now. A four-man EMP coming out here for Nispuk, but immediately it pops. It forces the Transcendence out there from Sucrax to keep everyone alive. Bomb coming out here from Crow, will not find anyone, but Ego able to find them after they were demeched there, so that's a huge pick for them right now. They can apply a little bit more pressure now to this Gilix squad.
Yeah, the EMP didn't find its value, but they all dropped from the high ground, and that's what allowed the attacking team to really get that fight win and push the point to where it is now. However, the defense have held in. This does allow Infernal a bit of an easier route onto the high ground for this next fight, and of course they really want to be looking for this Kitsune Rush. They've been holding on to it for a while, so they need to get this out and utilize it to its maximum benefit. Or Step also going to be looking for this Pulse Bomb. They want to get Captain Prash because of the Nano.
Pulse Bomb coming out there. Dip again, not been as accurate as they have been last round there. Try to get the Nano again onto Captain Prash. The Nano coming out here from Captain Prash onto QR again. The bomb coming out from Ego, though, is going to find Captain Prash, as well as two other members of Gilix falling before that. And Infernal looking to cap this second point now.
Yeah, and that's going to put them in a very, very strong place to do it. However, Gilix, they have the EMP, and QR came up massive last time, and there is nothing on the board to counteract it. You can already see QR on the high ground, scouting it out, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
And there's really no other ultimates really to kind of pair up with, but they really focus in there on Ego. However, it does hit three more people as well. Suzu comes out onto Natsuki to get them out of that EMP kind of phase there as well. Sucrax still able to find one. Crow finds a second one here, make it a third as well. Gilix just trying to clean up the rest of this fight now. Ego, though, able to find one, but that's going to be all that Infernal finds.
Yeah, brilliantly utilized. Like you said, they didn't have an ultimate to really go with the EMP. I think that's why they decided to go for the little lower health mech to get the mech out of it, to just give themselves a little bit of an advantage in the fight. Infernal now, they really don't need to push too far, and they have Nispuk's EMP. Sucrax, though, they need to transcend it. Sucrax really does not want to be EMP'd here.
And Nisbuk definitely looking for it right now. They might have their target. They find 3 right there. It does force out the Transcendence, but it's not fast enough to save QR there. But Gilix did try to keep this fight going. Pulse Bomb coming out there from Tocino will not find anyone. Crow eating up that Pulse Bomb right there. So Dip, again, struggling very hard here on this second round with their bombs right now. But here comes the bomb from Crow, not able to find anyone, but they are able to get back into their mech here to keep this fight going. No one has fallen here in a long time. QR's back in the fight, but they're almost first ones to fall. Natsuki is popping that beat to keep their team supported through this one with some shields. Sucrax though, and Captain Frash. Tocino going down as well. This should be second point going over to Infernal.
Yes, incredible stuff. Once the EMP didn't allow them to fully secure the fight in their favor, it was still a little bit back and forth. They realized they were coming up to the beat. They played around Natsuki, getting it, and once the beat came through, they went aggressive. And look at this. They're just going in deep. They're hungry. They don't have far to go with only 2 minutes. It's only just a little bit further, just around 2 corners, and they have it. And they have 2 big win conditions coming up. The Kitsune Rush they already have, and the EMP they're almost at.
And Dip perched on this high ground looking for someone to stick it onto. Looks like they have their target there. They find Captain Prash. It's back again. That's the 4th time this map they've been able to stick it on to Captain Prash right now, and this should allow Infernal here to get a lot of free cart push.
Yeah, usually it's the captain going down with the ship, but this time it's the ship going down with the captain, because that pulse bomb is just absolutely putting holes in the plans of Gilix.
Nisbuk does have this EMP ready to go, and there is no Transcendence to really save Gilix here. Captain Prash investing the rally here a little bit early, and the EMP comes out, only really hits QR and Crow there. Dip though falling here early, but Eagle's still in the mech. They're gonna get D-mech though. The bomb gonna come out here. This might be huge. It finds 2. Is Infernal gonna win off the back of that remech bomb there? However, Gilix Spartan logos, all the members, they're trying to do whatever they can to stay alive. Suzu being used by Okawase to keep themselves alive here, but you're gonna start to see some members of Gilix come back.
EMP was hacked. EMP didn't come out.
EMP was hacked?
Yeah, QR couldn't get it off.
Trades coming out right there, a DPS for a DPS, but Gilix Spartan logo is back in this fight. However, the time bank still on the side of Infernal here for the moment. Gilix needs to try to win a fight here right now.
Yeah, it's so strong. But Sucrax, they have the Transcendence to hold in.
Beat coming out here from Natsuki immediately forces out the Transcendence here from Sucrax. Pulse Bomb coming out from Tocino, not going to be able to find anyone there. Dip has their Pulse Bomb right now. They have their target. They're going to be able to find their target even without the stick there. It's a trade in the truest sense of the word there. Dip for Sucrax, Sucrax for Dip. But the rally coming out here from Captain Prash again. They have their eyes set here on QR, or on Nisbuk, but they're immediately able to just teleport out, but they do have that EMP ready.
EMP's ready. 8 seconds to go. It's gonna be very close, but you need it to be big.
Oh my goodness, it happened again! What? It happened 2 times! Oh my goodness, Gilix! They have their best opportunity right now. Sucrax able to find Natsuki, the bomb coming out from Crow, not able to find anyone, but here comes the Kitsune Rush from Okuwatse here. This will allow their team to do a lot more damage here. The team to be able to find the kills right now, but Okuwatse, first one to fall here. Sucrax coming alive right now, finding pick after pick. Dip coming back out on the tour, but Ego immediately falls after this, and the rest of Infernal starting to lose numbers here. It's really only up to Dip, and I think Natsuki here. Dip will fall. Nisbuk falls as well, and Gilix Spartan logo gonna be able to tie this series up.
Oh my god, the curse is broken, and what did it take but a fight that just lasted 2 minutes long? 2 EMPs were hacked out of being used, X. In what world does that happen? And just like this 5K, this grand finals is just out of this world.
Man, we are seeing the reason why these 2 teams right now are in this grand finals. Some incredible solo plays coming out here. And now, 1 EMP being hacked out of it is impressive, but seeing 2 in a row getting hacked out of it is almost unheard of in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw the first one, I was like, that is amazing. That's one of the best plays that I've seen in a high-stakes fight. And then it goes and happens again. QR is like, you did it to me, I'm going to make you feel what I felt. And hacks it. That was an insane fight there. And like, I'm pretty sure we saw the pulse bomb from both sides like get some value, but like it was kind of the value was traded out of. It was just so back and forth, just every inch being pushed back and forth. Like these These fights are just insane. They are chaotic, but if the team that wins it, that's the team that gets that chaos and orders it, coalesces it, not like a Moira, but like a team that's ready and willing to win a grand finals and win $1,500.
Yeah, and Gio, let's just take a moment right now. You said it already. The curse is broken. It is lifted. There's going to be no sweep here tonight. For me and you, this is a great thing right now. We have our hands on what we knew was already a good series, but in my opinion, it's just got a whole hell of a lot better here right now. But it's now up for Infernal to respond to what wasn't, honestly, a couple of incredible plays coming out from both sides there, but that hacked onto that EMP there at the end really sealed the deal there for Gilix Spartan Logo to win Hollywood, and QR coming up in the clutch.
Man, it's insane. Like, you could point out any player in this match and give them like a whole spiel of why they helped their team win. But like, QR getting that second hack was perfect to keep a track of it, because they knew the MP was coming. They knew that they had used their Transcendence already, and they didn't have it. If that EMP hit, it was over. That was Hollywood done for them. So to get that hack was so incredibly crucial and so incredibly difficult to do, because in the chaos of a fight, D.Va shooting all over the place, hack can get cancelled by any molecule of damage, but still QR sneaks it through and disables it. However, the next map that we'll be heading to, it's Shambali, and that's a map that we saw Infernal doing incredibly well on, holding the first point of in the losers finals. So that's a map that they have a lot of comfort with, a lot of confidence on, to try and get back into the lead.
And you have to remember, in that losers finals, they didn't pick the map. They didn't pick this map, and they dominated it. So now that they have the chance to pick it, they're looking to do the exact same thing here again. Like you said, they really only let them about halfway up that first hill in the losers finals before they basically stopped them there. But this is a completely different team. Gilix Spartan Logo, has ran the table in the uppers bracket right now, and they've done really good to get to this grand finals. Mm-hmm. Infernal just lost their first map in 11 maps. I mean, you have to give them a lot of credit, but now for the first time in a while, they have to respond.
Yeah, they're out of the pot, but they are in the fire now, because they haven't lost a map in a while. They've not experienced that in tournament play, so now they need to deal with that in terms of not only fighting back, but the mentality of it as well. And that's important. The mentality is one of the most important things for teams in long series like a first to four, like the grand finals we're seeing. But I'm sure their mentals are fine. I'm sure that they're all dedicated to winning here, because Shambali went extremely well for them last time, and that is what they're banking on. Coming out here on the defense with their tried and true. It's a dime a dozen comp, but it works well for them. It is this D.Va dive, and there ain't much to say about that we haven't already. However, Gilix Spartan Logo coming out on a more of a pokey kind of brawl in a way, because you naturally have the brawl because of that rematch in the Nemesis form. Bringing out the Hanzo, however, allows you to just play those long sight lines of Shambali Monastery and just spam down lines, create zones of control with the damage, and of course, once the zones of control are up, Tochino has a lot better time flanking and finding value in the backline.
Yeah, but this could be the first time this series that we've basically seen a different kind of comp here other than just dive, so I'm really going to be interested to see how Gilix does on it.
Yeah, they brought something out of the toolbox. Is it throwing at the wall to see if it sticks, or is it something they've practiced? Massive anti-nade!
Massive anti-nade, but an even bigger sleep, and then anti-nade onto Ego. Captain Prash could be able to take him out there, but without their tank, Infernal has to play us incredibly safe. They're trying to run back to the safety of this side room, and they're going to be able to do that, but this is just free space right now for Gilix.
Yeah, Eagle wanted to follow up there on the anti-nade, but got absolutely torn down. Went for the monkey now, and that's probably because Sucrax is very vulnerable.
Oh, but they come right back into the fight, get antied again, and then immediately taken out. Crow able to find Natsuki as well. Infernal, so far not having a good time on this map right now, as we start to see QR get very aggressive, but they're just going to be put to sleep.
Yeah, they're destabilized, they're swapping comps, they're in the midst of a comp switch, and now they're just desperately trying to touch to keep this point alive.
The hack does come on the QR there. Natsuki able to find them, but the rest of Infernal trying to get back in this one to just tick off as much time as they can are slowly falling member by member right now. Pulse Bomb coming out there from Tocino will not be able to find Natsuki here, who's on the Lucio now, but Crow will eventually be able to find them, and the first point already capped here for Gilix.
Yeah, Gilix are beginning to feel like they're directed by Spielberg because there's blood in the water and the jaws are out. They've tasted what winning a map feels like, and now they just want more. The hunger is real, Annihilation ready, and so is this Dragon if they want to split up this map. Dip can come up big yet again. We've seen it with the Pulse Bomb, but is it enough against the likes of the Annihilation?
I mean, if you're Dip, you're probably trying to focus on the Captain Prasher Sucrax. Those were your main targets last time, minus that 3-man Pulse Bomb that we saw there on their defensive round. But the Dragon's coming out early from QR, but the Nano onto Ego as they dive in on that backline. Newsbuck there able to help kill QR there, but now we see this form come out for QR. The Pulse Bomb does come out on to Crow there, but they're not going to use their Annihilation. However, they're just going to accept Death. Tocino, though, able to take Okuwatsu here as the fight ends.
Yeah, Dip had a bit of a different idea there. Instead of going for the supports, wanted to burn that Nemesis form, because once the Pulse Bomb sticks in, you can't block it, so that you get the full damage done to you in the follow-up. Allowed Infernal to have their first fight win here. They can stabilize, take a bit of a breather, and more crucially, setting this buck up for this EMP, who's already in the backline and waiting for their best chance.
And I thought Crow did not use that Annihilation last fight. However, it looks like they did. EMP comes out here, will hit QR and Captain Prash here. Captain Prash immediately taken out, but 2 members of Infernal traded right back out for them. Sucrax using that Nano onto Crow there. And just look at the kills going away at Gilix here. They've already won this team fight. Now they're just trying to get rid of the Sombra. And oh, that railgun shot so close, yet so far away.
Yeah, Crow's going to have to deal with the steroid scandal coming out after this, because that Nano really amped their muscles up for that pummeling.
Beat coming out here from Captain Prash as Infernal tries to get this fight alive. They also pop their own beat as well to keep things even across the board. Now, Crow hacked. Here comes Ego's ultimate right now. They're just going to use it mostly as a defensive thing. Really forces Gilix to fall back here.
Yeah, and Dip has had that time to build that Pulse Bomb yet again. Will it go to Crow again?
It might. It comes out. Not able to find anyone there. Crow able to trade out their Ego, but again, the trade's right back out in favor of Infernal. And Gilix looking like they might want to try to fall back here and not lose any more numbers. And Nano coming out now onto Dip. This is a very scary Tracer right now. It already takes care of 1 member of Gilix. It's going to take care of a 2nd member as well. Nisbuk, though, going to get credited.
Yeah, the Pulse Bomb didn't hit Crow. In fact, Dip had to go back to her team and eat Crow and admit that they actually missed a Pulse Bomb. But of course, the follow-up was enough. Infernal in a solid position. I like the speed of play. They've dealt with it. They've huddled up. They now are in fight mode. They're in fight mode. They're in lose mode, and now they're in fight mode. Nisbuk very close to this EMP, but True with this Annihilation could really just control this fight.
Yeah, QR, though, able to find Natsuki out early. That is a huge pick. So is Ego falling. QR, a Deadeye with these railgun shots right now. Tocino able to find Nisbuk. No EMP. This fight, Dip falls as well. It's going to be a team kill for Gilix as they cap the 2nd point.
Yeah. That's a very nicely done there. The time bank was really drained there by Infernal getting their kind of grips on things and really holding in. Now Infernal, they're going to go back to the tried and true, the Diva. Oh, I don't know why it wasn't in my brain there. The Diva. They have this EMP. If they want to take this fight nice and quick, they can also wait for this point to kind of come through this choke, so they have a better angle of attack once the EMP comes through.
Oh, it's a huge one. Finds 2 members immediately taken out right there. Already getting a lot of value from that EMP, and it already forces Gilix to fall back.
Yeah, nice, quick, effective. It's what you want. Dep's actually on a bit of a stealth mission right now. Look at this. Sneaky. What are you wanting?
They're going after Prash again. They made their life a living hell on Hollywood, but now they're trying to escape with their own life. Have to recall to get themselves out. They get the pulse bomb stick onto who else but Captain Prash. Tocino able to take care of Dip right after that.
Poor Prash and these pulse bombs, man. Someone give him therapy. Annihilation is absolutely kited away from. So is the Nano, 2 ult invested and just kited away.
We're starting to see Crow throw some punches. Sukrek's able to find Natsuki. Here comes the overclock from QR. They immediately find Dip. They find Okuwatse. They have their eyes set here on to Nizpuk. They're not able to find their Nizpuk, though. Gets a good kill there. However, the DMAC on the Eagle, Crow immediately able to take care of them. Infernal here might just have to kind of play a little bit slow here. Wait for everyone to come back.
Final stretch. Less than 90 seconds on the board. Infernal need to touch here and get a good fight when the beat's ready.
Beats coming out from both sides here. No EMP ready for Nizpuk to cancel out the beat there for Gilix. Crow immediately getting taken out here. Good team play there by Infernal to get rid of the biggest target there. And now that's going to force Gilix to play here a little bit differently. You're starting to see a lot of them just completely fall back.
Yeah, incredible that the beat from Natsuki was just a little bit quicker than Prash. They were practically at the same time, but just that little bit of intention got them at massive EMP.
Huge EMP. It finds all 3 members who are hit by it, and this is just eating away at the clock right now for Gilix.
Yeah, 40 seconds on the board, and the way these fights go, that pretty much means there is one final fight left for Gilix. They have the pulse bomb, they have time to build the Nano perhaps, maybe not the Annihilation, however. Eagle with the bomb will be able to get a second life with it, but watch out for Dip looking for yet another Prash eliminating pulse bomb.
Pulse bomb comes out. Prash breathing a sigh of relief right there. Not dying this time. Bomb, though, coming out there from Eagle. Able to find QR. Trades going on each way, but Infernal currently in the lead. And essentially, this is last fight territory right now if you're Gilix. You need to keep this going, but Infernal is finding kill after kill, and Captain Prash not going to be able to do enough there to keep this overtime alive.
Incredible fortitude from the defense to hold in. But my oh my, does this bear a resemblance to Hollywood? And I don't want to fall into the same mistakes of saying that they have a lot of time to work with and, you know, they can be patient knowing that they don't need to finish the map. Because that's what happened on Hollywood. And, well, that didn't quite go their way. They really need to be fighting, like they need to be getting past the checkpoint, past the point where they need to win. It's like in boxing, you know, you don't want to aim your punches to land flush. You want to basically aim to punch through them. I don't know why I'm bringing boxing into this one. Probably because it's a bit of a slobber knocker fight here between these teams.
Yeah, you're absolutely right here, but Infernal gonna tease us right now that they're gonna stick on what they've essentially has been their bread and butter so far. Gilix, though, making a slight change as well. I believe this is the first time we're seeing a Sigma this grand finals.
Yeah, finally, you know, off of the heavy dive, Gilix, they're experimenting with the Ramatra, bringing out the Sigma, and you know, Sigma's very strong. It's the spam tank of Overwatch 2. Used to be the Arista Sigma, now it's just Sigma on their little lonesome. And of course, QR on the Hanzo, that's going to be able to use that scout of that recon arrow to tell where Dip might be, but most importantly, where Nizpuk might be, and just zone them out.
Dip gonna get one shot there on the Widowmaker, immediately swap over to the Tracer, kind of what I expected there.
Yep, a nice quick attempt at a pick. Oh, there's that scout.
Ego trying to get Tocino there, but Tocino able to recall themselves back here. And now this is essentially what I would like to consider a normal kind of hold here for this map. QR, though, able to find Natsuki. That's a huge pickoff for Gilix there. It's going to force Infernal to play a little bit slower.
Yeah, once you don't have that speed, you just struggle to get the rotations. QR just decimating the attack as they come in.
Make it 3 headshots for QR already this round. We're not even a minute in. Make it 4!
Someone check NPC. That bow and arrow is working so effectively. Finding the heads of everybody that walks forth into the sidelines of QR. The attacking team struggling to find a dive onto this high ground right now. They need to get a good rotation and dislodge QR.
Yeah, And oh, they have their next target there, but Crow able to take him out there. And this is a much better defensive hold than what Infernal had. Remember, it was basically one team fight win there for Gilix, and they were pretty much already so close to the first point. Infernal was in the process of making a whole bunch of swaps, and they were just a little bit too late to make those swaps. Gilix had an incredible first point right now, and they're having an incredible first point hold.
Yeah, and a lot of it is because the backline is so much healing, especially when you try and dive. That Baptiste has that shift, able to give themselves and everyone around them that healing, the immortality field, along with the Brig AoE heals. It's a lot to deal with, and Nisbuk, I mean, you can tell by the ult percentage, Nisbuk is just not getting what they used to.
Crow able to bond Natsuki out here. The Kitsune Rush coming out as well. Infernal trying desperately to find anyone here. They're going to be able to find someone there with a pulse bomb, but it doesn't matter as the rest of Gilix is finding kill after kill here.
I think Nisbuk has held on to this Sombra way too long here, and now if you want to swap it, you're giving up the MP that you finally built after 4 minutes almost. That's tough. And now Dip on to Genji to go for a big full dive here.
Damage Mitch is coming out here from Sucrax on that high ground, but immediately kind of won't find a lot of value there as Ego able to fall down. Tocino got incredibly low there, but got some support. QR now incredibly low as well. They got off that Hanzo that they were doing so good on, now going over to the Sombra as well. Ego does have the Primal Rage ready to go. They're going to use it right now, but it's immediately countered out there by the Rally. Crow using the Graviton Flux. Does have a couple members. Tocino's bomb does find Dip there, but we're finally seeing some kills go the way of Infernal here and some cart push.
EMP needs to be big. It's taken so long to build, and this book needs to come up massive in this fight.
Oh, it comes out there, only finds Crow. It looks like that's not going to be what you need here to win this fight as QR finds Okuwatse here. Less than a minute to go, and Infernal investing some ultimates that could have been huge, but just not finding a lot of value with them.
Oh, the EMP was not worth the weight of a 4-minute build. That's so unfortunate for the side of Infernal, but they're still holding on to this Sombra like it's some sort of lifeline, but it's not. They've tied themselves to rocks right now because Nisbuk cannot get anything done against this composition. It's just scouting them out and forcing them into a bad position.
Yeah, and Infernal's really coming into what essentially could be the final fight here with this Coalescence. Okuwatse will have their Nano ready to go as well, and you're probably looking to either pair that up with a Blade from Dip or just onto Ego to try to get as much pressure as you can, but we're seeing a hack come out there on the Sucrax. Immortality Field invested here a little bit early, but here comes the Coalescence from Natsuki. They're using it more as an offensive one here, but the hack onto Ego, they're going to be able to just barely stay alive through it, but as I say that, Tocino finds them right there. We're into overtime. 2 members of Infernal down. Gilix looking very strong here, and they're going to be able to keep this map streak alive now. Make it 2 in a row for them.
Yeah, incredible stuff there. Not just from the plays, but from their decisions to play these different compositions, because sure, the bread and butter was working for Infernal, but Gilix has brought a bagel to the equation, and that's really put them off of their game right now.
Yeah, and honestly, it seems like ever since Hollywood, that we haven't seen the same Infernal team that we saw on Ilios, in my opinion. Like, yeah, they were really, really close, and a couple incredible individual plays came out on Hollywood. The only reason that Infernal didn't win that map there, but it seems like that affected them a lot here. It seems like they kind of lost some confidence or a little bit of momentum, really, and now all the momentum is on the side of Gilix Spartan logo here.
Yeah, all the momentum indeed is with them as they have now put themselves into the lead for the first time in this series on the road to getting that 4 in the score to win it all. Gilix are on a very good streak right now, but after, we're about to go to a break, and I'd love to see Infernal take that break to have a breather and really kind of get their head out of the game a little bit, because I think they're banging their head against the wall with these compositions, and I'd love to see a little bit more flexibility from more than just Ego and the support line, because Nisbuk was really struggling there. However, we will be going to a short break. Do not go anywhere, folks, because this Grand Finals is an absolute banger, and there will be more amazing content after this short break.
welcome back everyone from that little break right there. Current score of the series is Gilix Spartan Logo 2, Infernal EU 1. And Gio, Gilix Spartan Logo has won these last 2 maps, and while Hollywood was very close, Shambali Monastery was anything but close.
Yeah, they were able to hold in strong there, not allow Infernal to get a single point on Shambali. It looks like the Himalayas was their home base, and yeah, the momentum fully on the side of Gilix right now as they look to continue their run of dominance through the winner's bracket and complete this grand final story and win themselves $1,500 in the prize pool. It's a lot of money for a community tournament, and these players are hungry for it, as we will be heading to Esperanza to see if Infernal have used this break to maybe get out of their own head a little bit and loosen their shoulders a little, you know, and be a bit more adaptable.
Yeah, definitely. They need that break more than anyone there, because it just really seemed like on Shambali Monastery, they truly didn't know what was going on. It seemed like they were just kind of hitting their head into a wall over and over and over again. You even talked about there a little bit, maybe Nispuk staying on that Sombra a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, the composition that Gilix had was just zoning them out completely, and the backline was just so strong that you could hack both of them at the same time and they'd still keep each other alive. That's how strong a Baptiste Brigida backline is. It's honestly, it's a disgusting amount of healing, and yeah, it took them 4 minutes to build an EMP, and it hit one person, and that's not a good time trade if you're Infernal. And hey, look at this. A completely different composition. Maybe it's caster bait, but it's entirely different. I imagine Guadze won't be playing Mercy, however. I don't really see how it fits. On the side of Gilix, however, bringing out the Bastion. Nope. More caster bait. I'm falling for everything, Dex.
And as you say it, they immediately swap back over to the Sombra here. But essentially, other than Captain Pratch and Natsuki, it's a mirror match.
Yep, a mirror matchup. It's going to be all about who can find those backline trades the best. But of course, the difference is the Brigida and the backline of Gilix will help Suckrack stay alive.
Yeah, and you're seeing each team just kind of poke out right there, trying to maybe find a lucky hit onto some people right now. But Nispuk actually getting a good job there, going all the way around, getting the hack there on the Crow, forcing them to jump back right now.
Yeah, Nispuk is going to have a lot more room to work with as Sombra here. So is QR, however, as the dive comes in from Crow.
And a nice start here for Gilix as Tocino able to find Dip right now. But Infernal taking control of the bot here first. Not even going to be able to get some percentage or some meterage on that cart while the rest of their team slowly starts to die.
Yeah, Gilix had a bit of a stronger dive there, finding the collapse onto the backline. Of course, I talked about the difference of having that Brigida. That's why now you see Natsuki swapping over to it. You don't have the speed anymore, but a lot more survivability. Of course, you don't want to let this ball get too far and get too close to that forward spawn.
Crow immediately getting hacked here right now, but they're going to be able to keep themselves alive because of that shield and some help from their supports. But now the hack and the nano coming out onto them right now, and they're just going to try to beam down whoever they can here. But look at this, Gilix going to use this distraction here just to continue pushing the car. Primal Rage ready for Crow here. I don't see them using it this fight, but QR is currently hacked, and again, Infernal just kind of forgetting about the bot here.
Yeah, well-time hack nullified the nano. That's why this fight's prolonged here for Gilix. Infernal have an opportunity with their own EMP a little bit sooner than QR.
And this is, Dip is right there, maybe to try to stop this, but the Primal Rage being invested here by Crow in that backline, and just all the pressure coming out there from Crow, gonna be able to give Gilix his first stopping point.
Incredible creation of space there by Crow, but the EMP immediately to respond.
Dip able to find 2 off the back of that EMP there, and 2 high-value targets there. Other supports, Tocino also falls there, and you immediately see Crow just jump right back, but everyone should have the forward spawns off of that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of miscommunication, but I really think they could have stopped that forward spawn from being unlocked, because now the snowball is possible, especially if QR with the EMP. Nothing really to nullify it.
EMP comes out from them, finds 3. A huge anti coming out there onto Okawatse as well. Made sure they fall to their grave. Natsuki, though, popping their rally here to try to keep whoever they can up right now, trying to find anyone else as well. Nizpuck, though, finding Tosino. Natsuki finding Sukrak. Natsuki, though, eventually going to be traded out there, but Nizpuck makes sure to get some revenge on them. Now the Primal Rage coming out here from Ego. But that's basically the only member left right now for Gilix here of Crow.
That's it. That's the Infernal. We know whatever they did during the break, whoever gave them a pep talk, this is how we've seen them play throughout the losers bracket and go on the absolute winners, the absolute blazing winner streak that we've seen them on previously. They do have this nano for good win condition. Ego can dive in nice and strong into Subrax.
Yeah, it might have been one of their coaches there of either Golden Eagle or Taylor giving them that pep talk that they desperately needed right now. But still, they're still down in this at the moment right now. Nano here coming out onto Crow. The sleep, though, going to be put right back on the Crow, and that Nano's essentially going to go away off of that sleep. However, they're able to wake up, and they have their eyes set here onto Okuwatse, but QR going to be able to find Eagle here. Okuwatse falls immediately after that, but the card's still going the way of Infernal at the moment until that kill right there. Gilix back in control.
Yeah, you see, like, Infernal won 2 fights in a row, and they still didn't get that forward spawn. That's just the way push works, and now Gilix, if they remember that the ball exists, yeah, there we go, we'll be able to unlock theirs. Nizpuck looking for a good EMP. They'll be up against QR, who also has theirs. Battle of the Sombras has been the consistent story here.
EMP comes out onto that support line right there. The counter EMP comes out, though, and it hits, I believe, Nizpuck there. However, Nizpuck Ego immediately falls. Sukrak's the only one to fall there for Gilix, and now they have those forward spawns again, and the kills continue to go the way of Gilix here.
Where, oh where was the follow-up to the EMP? Nizpuck is an island, just isolated, EMPing to try and follow up with themselves. The team was not ready for it, and now they're in a horrible position because Gilix have this great position where they're just pushing so far forward here. It's going to take multiple fights wins in a row now for Infernal, likely 3.
Anti coming out there onto Ego is huge, so Cito immediately able to take him out there right now. Natsuki also falls. Sukrak still falling here for Gilix, but they still have the numbers advantage right now. They want to keep this fight going. Dip getting a lot of damage here onto Crow, but Crow able to find Okuwatse, and the bot just continues to push that barrier in favor of Gilix.
Yeah, Gilix are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel approach closer and closer. They are going to get Dip out of the equation. QR getting that EMP quicker than Nizpuck. Crash with this rally, actually going to back up with it.
Ooh. Nice whip shot there from Prash to get Ego there off of, I believe it was Tosino.
I love this rotation because they know they've got the forward spawn, they have the advantage, they can do this and really lose nothing from it.
Nano coming here on to Crow. Captain Prash knows that they have a pulse bomb ready to go, but they don't have to fear for their life that time as Nizpuck already took him out. But you immediately see right after that the follow-up from Gilix finds both supports there for Infernal.
Yeah, this is exactly what Gilix needs to be doing, being nice and smart with the rotations. They have so much of a lead right now. They can play with time, they can play with the map. They are not forced to really push the objective as of yet. Nizpuck and QR going to be up against each other with these EMPs. I want to see better follow-up from Nizpuck's.
Oh, but the EMP came out first from QR. Nizpuck not able to get their EMP off there as Ego had dived into that backline to try to help them off there, but a huge play coming out from Gilix.
Yeah, it's a disaster right now. Nizpuck's went down. They're going to have to use this nano to really keep this fight alive. They're almost at the end of the map, Gilix.
Again, we see them nanoing Dip here. They've done it in the past, and Dip has been able to find a lot of value off it in the past, but yet they find nothing with it this time. In hell, they're antied here right now. Nizpuck still holding on to this EMP, probably going to want to use it here. This fight, pulse bomb coming out from Dip, not going to be able to find anyone. Ego in the backline here, popping their Primal Rage, desperately trying to find anyone they can, but they're going to jump out to keep themselves alive. The EMP there is huge. Captain Prash immediately falls. Crow is still affected by it, but Natsuki, next one to fall here. It's an even trade out for both sides right now. Ego here, focusing in the nano here on the Crow. Gilix Spartan logo looking like they want to try to end this map here and now.
The backline of Gilix are absolutely staunchly holding this one in. They're so close to completing it as Nizpuck goes down. Natsuki coming out with the rally, but it's desperation mode for Infernal.
It is truly desperation mode at this time. I believe less than probably 15 meters away from the end here. The rally pop here by Natsuki will provide some shields there to their team. The pulse bomb coming out from Tocino, not finding anyone, but Crow throwing hands finds one, make it two. They're trying to find a third here. They won't be able to do it with their hands. They're back to the Tesla gun, but the kills continue to go the way. Nisbuk making a desperation swap over to Widow. They got the nano on the Widow, but it's essentially gonna be it. We might see a late contest here, but they're not able to get back in time. And Gilix Spartan, one map away from being crowned grand champions.
Every map we've seen, Gilix have played better and better and better. They're like a massive boulder just rolling down the hill. And Infernal, they need to be Indiana Jones and avoid that, or they're gonna get squished. And talking about squished, look at this Primal just absolutely going mad onto the back line. Gilix are on that next level stuff. You can tell how much they want it here. And yeah, in Infernal, they got a shot in. They won in Ilios, but since then, it's been Gilix just bringing it back more and more. And Esperanza, let's be honest here, that was a stomp. That was not close.
Yeah, and honestly, Gilix pretty much is picking up where they left off from Shambali Monastery here. And again, that was another map that we saw Infernal pick. They just haven't been able to do a lot since they won that map. Hollywood was their last good map, in my opinion, but just we've said a couple times, a couple incredible plays coming out late there is the only reason that Gilix won that map. And now, however, I feel like Infernal does have a little bit of a chance here still. Yeah, their backs are against the wall here, but I believe the next map is a control point map, and that's the one map they've won so far this series, so it might be something they use to build a little bit of momentum.
Absolutely. I mean, momentum is something that they need to get back in their side, because it's entirely possible. I mean, esports is still a sport, so you do have to think about physicality. Is it perhaps that Infernal kind of adrenaline dumped into the first map and maybe like overexerted themselves, and now the energy isn't quite there, where Gilix, they're continuing to just look better and better. Like, they can go more rounds. We can see that. Like, they are not slowing down. They are getting faster, and that's terrifying, especially if that's what you're up against. But we are going to return to the game mode that got Infernal a point in this series. We are going to return to control, and Ilios was very close. Like, yes, we did see Infernal get it, but it was incredibly close. 99-99 overtime fights all across Ilios. Oasis, I don't imagine, is going to be too much different. And of course, with those big open maps like City Center, it's going to play more into what we've seen from Infernal, their strength, which is that Diva composition or the Monkey composition. Basically, this Somber Tracer dive that they have really brought from the brink of being eliminated in the losers bracket all the way to the grand finals. Now they just need to find it. They need to get that motor running yet again. They need to get that loser bracket energy into the grand finals, I think, because that's what Infernal really need to bring out here.
Yeah, but honestly, if you're Infernal going into this map here, yeah, you're on Gilix Spartan logo is on series point right now. One map and they win. Infernal just needs to come into this one with essentially a clear mind. Like, play it one map at a time from here on out. I feel like they've started ever since Hollywood to start, thinking about what they did wrong that last map and been really focused on trying to fix it in whatever map they picked after that. It just hasn't worked so far. Just have it be 0-0 right now if you're Infernal. Try to win this map here and now.
Will Oasis be the final map of this entire bracket, of this entire season of the EU Open SRPC tier? Or will Infernal be able to center themselves? Like you're saying, Dex, can they find that inner zen? Not the character, the inner zen that they can bring out here and bring us back to what Infernal was in the losers bracket. Bring back the win streak mentality and what could be the final map here of this grand finals as they tee off on Oasis.
Yeah, and you immediately see Infernal coming back out on that D.Va that worked so well for them on that first map. And Gilix coming out on the Winston we saw them use for 1 life on the first map as well before swapping over to a D.Va here. So, you know, again, Infernal has to try to win this first team fight, get the first point cap, because then you're going to force Gilix here to probably make a couple of swaps. But if they're able to win this first point, or this first fight here, you're probably not going to see a lot of swaps as Ego immediately almost getting D-mech'd there.
Great movement, however, to keep alive, and they still have that mech, while the Gilix Spartan folks are very low in health right now.
But that is the kill they needed right there. They got rid of Crow. They're so close to capping this first point, and they're going to be able to do there. So Sino gets off the point. Captain Prash trying to get out with their lives right now, try to stagger anyone out there, but Sucrax, Captain Prash fall, and that's going to probably be this first fight done and dusted there. They're going to fall back and regroup and spawn.
Yeah, incredible adaptation there from Ego. What was that? Dip, you nasty, nasty man. Leave them alone. Yeah, and Nespuk already with EMP. Look at that. 40%, well, 30% difference in EMP generation already.
And the EMP coming out there, it finds Sucrax, finds Captain Prash. This fight is essentially over right now. Gilix might be trying to find, you know, any pick off they can here, but we've seen this a lot throughout this series here. Nizpuk and QR, when they're on the Sombra, they mostly focus the EMPs onto the support line there, and we saw a great kind of combo there from Nizpuk and Ego to take care of those supports.
EMP out, didn't find too much. QR ready with their EMP now. Will get the value? They're kind of staggering into this one. QR not quite in position.
EMP comes out there. I believe it hits forward, does force the bomb out from Ego, but they're not going to be able to find anything with it as they try to use it to remech. But the beat coming out from Natsuki here, going to try to keep Infernal alive with this one. They're also investing the Kasuni rush here from Okuwatse right now. There's really been no touch coming out on the point from Gilix. However, that point now up to almost 70% as you start to see Gilix finally want to take this fight to the point.
Okuwatse, yeah, pulled the Kitsune rush there. Prash's rally really allowed Gilix to stay alive. Ego's coming back now. Now they're just going to get this percentage as high as they can. The fight's not winnable, but they can extend this loss like we're seeing. And they're going to come back into this one with an EMP a little bit sooner than QR, but QR is getting up there, is really following through. Crow will have the Primal Rage, can go nice and deep, try and force out those cooldowns of the backline and create an opportunity for the likes of Ticino and QR to get that backline out of the fight. They're up against the wall. Gilix in this particular point, 93% for Infernal.
Yeah, good first point cap and kind of contest there just to get up to 93% right now. And essentially it's one team fight and a good kind of hold there. And you went, oh, a huge hack coming out here on the Crow, but they're going to be able to pop their Primal Rage to keep themselves alive. And now they're just trying to throw hands into anyone they can find there on Infernal. Nizpuk going to have to TP themselves out there to stay alive.
Yeah, Primal was forced, didn't get to choose when to use it, didn't get the value that they wanted. That's a great little ult that they've got out of the arsenal of Gilix.
Huge EMP coming out there from both sides. However, the EMP there for QR, I believe, only hit one. The EMP for Nizpuk hit a couple, and look at this team fight win here for Gilix.
Time and time again, there's a constant big fatal error, and that's the follow-up onto Nizpuk's EMPs, whereas QR is always there with their team. Whether they're louder shouting 3-2-1 or not, I'm not sure. But Nizpuk, finally, in the final possible map, has swapped off of Sombra to go for a counteraction in the Torbjorn to try to get that turret to stop QR from hacking up the backline. Will it work out with this Kitsune rush?
Oh, but the Suzu coming out there from Okuwatse keeps Nizpuk alive. It does get rid of the turret, but that's what you would want from that Suzu. Now the Kitsune rush coming out from Okuwatse. A huge pick off there from Nizpuk. Now Infernal trying to clean up the rest of the members of Gilix here, but they're not finding the kills yet, as we do see Sucrax and now Captain Prash pop their ultimates. Ego still holding on to this bomb right now, but again, it's going to probably be used for a remech purpose, and a remech purpose only. The fight here, it's essentially final fight territory for both sides here. Dip trying to apply as much damage as they possibly can. They have their pulse bomb ready. Bomb now coming out here from both Ego, but the pulse bomb from Dip finds Captain Prash there again. Captain Prash has to hate these pulse bombs at this point, but Nizpuk also finding Sucrax right now. Infernal finding the picks they need to find here.
The Torbjorn is working beautifully. 94%. Can anybody touch from Gilix? Perhaps, yeah, but against anything sustainable, they might need to use Cure's health, but they get the MP actually.
It finds 4 though, but they're immediately taken out. There's not gonna be a much big follow-up here, and Gilix not able to come back and touch in time. Infernal now just, they did exactly what I thought they needed to do coming in this one. Play it like it's just 0-0. They win the first map. First point again on Control. Let's see if they can try to finish it out here on University.
Yeah, you can tell that the players of Infernal, they have gonna fly now playing on their Spotifys, because this is some Rocky level return, this energy that they're bringing. That's the most important part. They have such incredible energy in these fights, and you can see they're adapting. That Torbjorn isn't something that's in the playbook, right? That's something they threw at the wall, and guess what? It's stuck on that wall. Now they're bringing out a ball composition with Junkrat. Really know what the Junkrat's going to do to really synergize with this composition. It's a bit of a, I guess, another Hail Mary choice up against a very brawl and spam composition here. You're going to see the Ramatra really try and hold the inside of the map there and come out once the point unlocks.
Yeah, you see Ego here just trying to roll through anyone they possibly can right now, but point unlocking here in a little bit. You're probably going to see, in my opinion, the ball off the map almost happens there, but you immediately see a trade out there. QR is able to find Nizpuck, but right after they find Tocino here, and Crow able to find one. QR able to keep themselves alive through it. Ego, though, eventually able to find QR there, and it does look like Infernal able to cap point here first.
Yeah, and with these heroes, they can keep this point alive for a while now. They might not win the fight, but they'll get up in percentages. Big anti-nade.
Huge anti-nade there, but again, much like last time, Infernal going to try just to hold on to this point as long as they can and try to maybe force out a couple ultimates, but QR finding Nizpuck there is a huge pick-off for them there, but Dip immediately coming back and finding Crow. No tank now for Gilix here. It might force him to play that's a little bit safer, but Natsuki and Ego finding a couple more picks.
Yes, and 30%, that's a lot, and they're going to be able to win this fight out and get it back immediately, with perhaps not even allowing 10% on the board for the side of Gilix. Infernal really doing well here. Nizpuck is struggling on this Junkrat, but it's creating a little bit of chaos that's working into their favor here. As yes, 3-1. Can Gilix continue this journey? Dragon comes out.
Dip finding a pulse bomb stick down to someone who's not named Captain Prash, and now just look at it now. This ball has the nano just rolling through everyone, finding 2 kills there. Tocino able to find Okawatse here, but the fight already done and dusted here, and Infernal continues to build their lead.
Yeah, I can see a Captain Prash in a room, in a hall with those fold chairs with a coffee, talking about to the support group these pulse bombs, but finally didn't land on them. Tire's going to come out. Can it find any value? Nizpuck goes down for it.
Gilix Spartan Logan making a swap here. They now have they're going back to essentially a dive here, but they have a pharmacy combo with them now. And Ego swishes themselves into the hole there in the center of the map, allowing Gilix to retake the point.
Hey, if we were playing basketball, that'd be amazing, but unfortunately here is not quite what they wanted, and look at that. Infernal, they're not afraid to adapt. I love this energy from them. This is what we've not seen from them in this series as of yet. They have these mines, they can split up the point, the beat's ready to counteract all this aggression. Uh-oh.
The stick there was on to Ego, but Natsuki just a little bit too close for comfort there. Tocino finds Nizpuck as well.
Yeah, talking about the energy, Gilix bringing it back to them. This Fire Mercy is supplying a lot of distraction and damage for Tocino to follow up on as the bomb comes out.
Not going to be able to find anyone there, but it does give him a little bit more percentage right now. Ego does have this minefield ready to go. The beat in being invested here by Natsuki a little bit early, but you immediately see Dip there trying to get rid of QR. Natsuki able to find Sucrax out early, but they're immediately traded out there by Tocino. Now Infernal trying to get this point going right now. The res will come back there to get Sucrax back in this one here, but it looks like Gilix here will be able to take the lead.
Yeah, and hey, there's a Nizpuck post bomb instead of a Dip one. It's very back and forth, but hold on. Are they bringing us back?
Ego just bowled Tocino into a mine here. Now it's basically Sucrax here investing that Coalescence there very late, but they're going to be able to take the lead here, 83%, but now Infernal already going to retake the lead, and they do have this duplicate ready to go.
Yes, final 20%. Both sides here. Can Infernal bring themselves back into this series? It's only a pulse bomb from the side of Gilix, and like you said, the duplicate ready from Dip. Okuwatse very close to Valkyrie. Can Infernal hold in this overtime fight?
I am confused. QR had the barrage ready to go. Why they not keep it here? Dip uses a duplicate here onto the D.Va. Gonna try to get a bomb built up of their own here. You immediately see Crow dive for that hole right there. Here comes the bomb out from Dip. Will it be able to find anyone? It's not going to be able to find anyone there. Crow able to get Dip out of that duplicate there right now, but Gilix still in this fight. Same with Infernal, but the first kill on Ego. That's such a big pick for Gilix right here, but they're immediately able to get res back in this one, so that kill there is null and void. Infernal trying to again find picks, but Tocino able to find Dip.
Can Postbomb come up from this puck? Doesn't find anything. Cure of the EMP.
EMP has to be huge here. Does hit a couple members, but looks like there's really no follow-up other than Nispuk fall here. Crow does have this bomb ready to go right now. You immediately see Okuwatse fall down there. They're going to get right back up into this fight, but again, Crow still on point right now. Has that bomb ready to go for the remake right now, but you see the minefields come out on that backside there. The side that Infernal's going to, or that Gilix going to have to come in through.
They've swapped the point now, which doesn't create too much panic for Infernal right now, but it will very shortly, especially losing heroes like this. And Zuckrax is going to have this coalescent for this final fight. Is there even a touch, actually, for Infernal?
Nispuk is there. They're going to be able to touch, but it's a 5v1 right now. They're hoping that the rest of their team is able to get back here, but Nispuk a little bit too late on that touch there. And now Gilix Spartan Logo has their win opportunity right now, going to the final point here.
If you don't risk, you don't have reward, and that's what QR did. You were absolutely right. They had Barrage, and they swapped, and that seems insane. And it is a little insane, actually, to go for a play like that, to go into the Sombra. But once they got the EMP, everything became so much clearer, because that EMP really cleaned it up for them, allowed them to get control, and now they are 1 point away from winning. They are 1 point away from securing themselves the grand finals winners, that first place, all the money on the line. It could be down to here. Oasis Gardens, and again, the adaptations from both sides, as Dip on Infernal has went to the Farah and hitting the skies.
Yeah, but Crow is coming back out on that D.Va, has the possibility here to eat a lot of that damage that Dip can do up there with the Pocket Mercy right now, but they're taking a couple shots right now. Going to allow their supports here to get some ultimate charge, but Nispuk able to find Zuckrax out early. It's a huge pick here for Infernal.
Yes, and that's going to open things up a little bit and create a lot of breathing room, and yeah, they're going to secure that fight with it, getting that nice first secure. And that's what we've seen. Infernal are very good at getting this first control, but I want to see more shades of Oasis City Center rather than University, because they kind of lost grip of things at one point. Okuwatse on this Moira really needs to stick with Ego a lot of the time, otherwise they can get really caught out once that fade is forced from Gilix.
Yeah, and you mean you see QR swap over here too with this Echo. Gonna try to compete with Dip in the skies right now. They're gonna focus in on Ego. Ego, though, able to stay alive, but now without that pocket there, Dip getting really low here, able to stay alive. However, Okuwatse and Nispuk already taken out of this fight. The pulse bomb and the kills all going the way of Gilix here, and only after 36%, they're gonna take the point.
You know, QR might have struggled to take Dip down, but just the core distraction that came up from QR going after Dip allowed the space for Gilix to get the rest of the team in there and really set up for that fight win. That's why Dip has now went to the Echo, because now they can duel the QR Echo a little bit easier. And this puck going to look to get a Dip-esque pulse bomb. Not quite.
Zuckrax finding some revenge there on the Nispuk for that first kill this round right here, but we're back to our mirror match right now. Who has the better of this comp here is going to be the decider. And right now, Gilix Spartan Logo going to be taking the lead right now. Each team trying not to make the first mistake here. Infernal is kind of waiting for Nispuk to come back into this fight.
Yeah, Coalescence ready. That'll be a big ultimate used to push them in nice and aggressively, but they'll be going into a Coalescence of Gilix and that duplicate.
Ego eats a bomb there. That's a huge play there from Ego right there to get Infernal going here, but they're going to get D-Mech. Natsuki, though, able to find Captain Prash. The kills going the way that Infernal needs them to go here at the moment. They already have taken out 2 members of Gilix. They're trying to find more, but the coalescence coming out from Sukrak going to be able to support Gilix through a lot of this, but they're finding QR there. They just need to try to clean up these last remaining members of Infernal and retake the point.
Yeah, at a certain point, QR realized the writing was on the wall and decided not to utilize the duplicate that is going to really help them in the next fight. However, they're now going to be up against Dip as well with the duplicate. The difference is Prash has that Valkyrie, and there's no support ult for Infernal, so it's going to be a lot more sustained for Gilix, especially now.
Here comes the Valkyrie from Captain Prash as QR is able to find the counterpart there onto Natsuki. Here comes the duplicate now from Dip. I have to imagine that was a little bit of a mistake there. They duplicate into Mercy and immediately pay the price for it. QR taking them out. Their Sukrak, so is traded out right now. But Infernal, they're going to do what they have to do here. They try to have to hold on to this point as long as they possibly can here. Force out some ultimates if they have to.
Yes, and they will get control. A little bit unfortunate there. It will happen in the chaos of a fight, not duplicating quite who you wanted. Will come back to bite them, as it will be the final 20% now. Infernal, Dip has went to the Sombra, so Nisbuk and Dip have essentially swapped roles here. Very aggressive from Gilix. They don't want to let them touch, but of course Nisbuk does have this pulse bomb. Can they come up big? Can they get that Dip-esque pulse bomb on the backline?
Hack there on to QR. You may see this buck try to get them. They whiff on the pulse bomb. QR finds Dip here, 89 or 99% right now, and Gilix Spartan logo is finding the kills, but Captain Prash falls off the map right now. Bomb coming out from Crow. Won't be able to find anyone. QR finds Natsuki. They can feel it right now. The kills going their way. Gilix Spartan logo here just has to try to clean up the remaining members of Infernal. They're trying their best. The pulse bomb comes out there, but it kills Tocino there. Infernal trying to keep this fight alive, but with Dip falling there, we do see Nisbuk back, but they're only going to be here for a short amount of time. Natsuki coming back as well on the Lucio. They'll be taken out. Nisbuk has to get a touch here. They're going to be able to, and here comes some more members of Infernal.
It's desperate. They want to keep it alive, but the writing's on the wall. Gilix are so close. The overtime ticket goes down, and there you have it. Gilix Spartan logo are your grand final winners. And they have secured themselves the crown, the creme de la creme. They are the team to beat tonight.
And just honestly, this was such a close series on these control point maps. It 99-99 almost essentially the entire way here, and you have to give a lot of credit to Infernal here, just not able to come up though in the end.
Yeah, if you're Infernal, I do not want to hear that you're upset with yourself, because this was an incredible matchup. You really held in strong here, and I love that. Sorry, the scores confused me there at the bottom.
Yeah, no, it's confusing me too.
A little bit wrong there. Maybe we're in the ultimate dimension where things were just a little bit different, and that's why I'm saying, Infernal, don't be sad, because if things were just a little different. You were very, very strong. You did that loser bracket run. It's historic, but second place is nothing to snuff at. However, condolences, because Gilix Spartan logo, they've secured himself that champion spot, and they are now sitting there with the big prize pool of 1,500, and it's got to feel good, right? Because Gilix have really fought their way through. It hasn't been a clean run for them, but now they finally got it here in the end.
Yeah, but I believe we're going to take a short break and then be right back with someone from Gilix Spartan logo here for an interview. So like I said, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back everyone from that break. We are joined here now by QR, the hit scan DPS player there for Gilix Spartan logo. QR, first off, congratulations on winning the championship. How does it feel to have ran the table in that winner's bracket or the upper bracket and win this grand finals?
Feels pretty good. It was a pretty long tourney, so this was like the first time we really tried. And yeah, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, nice is definitely one word of it. I mean, this was extremely back and forth where some fights were decided by the smallest thing. And I'm going to ask you about one specific fight, and you probably know which one I'm going to ask you about. There was a fight there where 2 EMPs, yourself included, were cancelled by a hack. Have you ever experienced a fight like that where you cancel an EMP with a hack? Is that something you've practiced? Were you looking out for that? Talk us through your mindset during that fight.
I mean, personally, I haven't seen 2 EMPs being cancelled in like one fight before, but like my EMP, I kind of trolled. I saw this Sombra, but I just wanted to use it because I felt like we might die if I don't use it. And probably the other Sombra did the same. Yeah, but it's not something you practice for. It's like really situational. But I kind of did know the MP, so I was looking out for it. But it was definitely luck.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredibly rare instance, but so entertaining to watch. We were talking about the difference of these teams as like the match went on. It seemed like you guys were playing almost better as things went on. What's the team like between the maps? You know, what's the energy like? Because I know you have some experienced players on your team, lots of tournament experience. Do those players kind of help everyone out when it comes to mentality, or do you guys have any rituals or anything? Like, what's it like in the comms?
I mean, mental-wise, we didn't really have an issue this time, but just generally, we were like thinking about like what the enemy's strengths are, what the enemy is doing, and how we can counter it. and we definitely want to play to our strengths. So we just did some adjustments and realized how they play. Yeah, just analyzed their gameplay.
Yeah. One final question here for you though. You were absolutely incredible tonight and on the DPS character there, but you know your tanks and your supports did as well. Who, honestly, in your opinion, might have stood out the most for your team tonight?
Honestly, my flag support Sugrax, I think, even though he was dying a lot, he was still doing like value before he died. I think we played like a lot wrong at the start, and especially on cough maps. I'm kind of surprised how he didn't just instantly die at the start of the fight and still got value.
Yeah, I mean, Zugark's got a 5k on Hollywood, so yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
But QR, is there anyone or anything you kind of want to shout out here before we let you go back and celebrate with your team?
Yeah, Tofino.
Nice.
Shout out to Osina. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. That was QR, the hit scan support or hit scan DPS there for your grand finals champions, Gilix Spartan logo. Congrats on a great season and go back and celebrate with your team now, man.
Thank you.
See you around. Whoa.
Gio,
What a series.
took words right out of my mouth there, man. What an incredible series. We saw, honestly, some plays I didn't know could possibly happen here tonight. The scoreline being 4-1. We were talking about it during the break. We wish this would have gone longer. This was an absolutely incredible series.
Yeah, this was a series that just kept on giving. I mean, there's so many individual moments. The Sucrax 5k, the double EMP hack, the Hanzo headshots. Like, this match for me has to be one of the most iconic matches in CGL because of just the energy these teams brought to it, and the way these players were playing was just next level. It's what everyone really aspires to in these community tournaments. But yeah, Dex, that's gonna be the end of this broadcast. I don't know how to really top this off. What kind of cherry can you put on this cake?
I don't really know how to top it off either. But before we go, I want to thank everyone who came out and watched, and thank you everyone behind the scenes, Little Joe, Zeuser, and KhazixMayJump, as well as Hippie, for everything they did to make sure that they gave us a great show tonight. And who else as well, Hippie? And Nico as well. Sorry, I forgot about them. But again, they did such an incredible job giving us the sights that we saw here tonight, and we saw some incredible things, Gio.
Yes, well, thank you for joining me, Dex, and again, another congratulations to Gilix Spartan logo for the victory. My name has been Gio. We've been casting for you tonight, but don't forget to laugh loud and love yourself, folks. Good night.